Welcome back, everyone. Defenders assemble. All the Defenders are back. Marvel has brought them all back. The prophecies are true. We finally got our first look of them on set for Daredevil Born Again Season 3, so we'll break it all down, explain what's going on, also what's happening during Season 2 and how they're setting that up. We've already gotten a couple Easter eggs for them, so this is just confirming some of the things that they're using Season 2 for. Some of the Easter eggs are meant to actually reference. Sweet Christmas, the day has finally come. They've finally done the thing. Now they need to do Defenders Season 2 or some other big team-up show after this. Streets are currently saying that is actually the plan. They are actually setting up another big team-up show. Way back when they canceled the Netflix shows, the people who actually made those shows at the time, Marvel Television, which was like a different part of Marvel, different from Marvel Studios, said that this was not the end of their stories, and now that's actually coming true. Technically, what Marvel Studios has done is basically go back to the way they used to make TV, because Marvel Phase 4 was such a mess for them trying to do completely different types of television. One of the biggest things that Kevin Foggy did when they were making Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was just completely pump the brakes, because what they were doing was just so off-book, off-tone from what people were expecting to see from Daredevil when they brought him back on the TV show, that he actually went back to the Netflix people and brought them back to make the new version of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. And Season 2 is all of them, as will be Season 3 and anything they do beyond this with those characters. There's also been a lot of talk about them doing a Daredevil solo movie after Season 3, which would be a completely separate thing because it'd be much bigger. You'd see more movie characters crossing over. Spider-Man would actually have a chance of crossing over with Daredevil in a movie in a much bigger way. So I will address that at the end of the video too, because that could be where some of these other characters do show up more in the movies. But when you look at the cast that they're assembling, make all the Avengers Assemble jokes possible for Daredevil Season 3, it seems like Born Again Season 3 really is going to be like a Defenders Season 2. We do have Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, which are like the biggest movies on the planet, even bigger than Avengers Endgame, so you expect to see tons and tons of cameos, but they haven't confirmed that the Defenders characters will show up by Avengers Secret Wars, so we'll see. Starting with some of the first images here, it looks like they're filming outdoor scenes near the courthouse or city hall. We've also got some shots of Karen Page talking to Sheila from Kingpin's office. You remember she was supposed to be deputy mayor until he gave the job to Daniel Blake during Season 1, and now she's kind of on the outs, and you're kind of worried for her life. This now confirms that she will survive to Season 3. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually winds up becoming mayor after Kingpin is kicked out of office.
Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
All because of a Spider-Man Brand New Day Easter egg. We know that Spider-Man Brand New Day takes place in the timeline after the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and you notice she is the person that's giving the key to the city to Spider-Man, so it implies that she is the new mayor after Kingpin. Some of the other big Easter eggs you notice here in the Defenders pictures with them all together on set. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. The reason why Matt Murdock is not here, we will talk about in a second, because I think that is heavily tied to the plot of Season 2. So we'll have to give a spoiler warning when we talk about what might be going on with Matt later in the video. But you do notice that Luke Cage is wearing the exact same suit and tie that he was wearing at the end of Luke Cage Season 2. It's a little more gold. Like you see it in the light of day, you can actually tell that it's way more gold. And it is meant to be the same outfit that he wore during the recent Heroes for Hire comic book. They are doing more actual Heroes for Hire. Marvel's finally listening to us. They finally got all of our letters. Danny Rand isn't wearing the tracksuit from that Heroes for Hire. He's wearing clothes that are more in line with what we saw him wear during the original Netflix series. Still kind of looks like he wandered out of Burning Man. Jessica Jones obviously wearing the exact same outfit that she wore ever since Jessica Jones season, like ever since the character debuted. Jeans, leather jacket, sunglasses. I really do hope that she has at least a couple pairs of that outfit, or she at least washes that pretty regularly. Kristen Ritter also said canonically it has been 7 years since the Jessica Jones series was canceled when we see Jessica Jones during Season 2, meaning that it's been close to that amount of time since we've seen Luke Cage as well too. I believe in that 7-year period, they have gotten back together because they kind of implied it in the actors' appearances at Comic-Cons that they would eventually be doing their baby at some point.
About Luke becoming a father with Jessica.
Well, it's been written and it makes sense, you know. And was it planned? I don't know, but hey, you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. And yeah, I mean, why not? You know.
We also know Jessica Jones reactivated Alias investigations at the end of Jessica Jones Season 3, so she's been doing that for the last 7 years too. Mike Holter also said that he was still taking care of Harlem during that period too. So while the Thunderbolts movie was going down, because that takes place before the events of Season 2, while the events of Spider-Man No Way Home was going down, like all these things in the MCU the last couple of years since Avengers Endgame, all these characters were still busy in New York City. We already talked about what happened with Daredevil during that period. Now we're going to learn more about what was happening with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist during that period. But based on what the actors have said, we already have a pretty good idea. There are also a couple other pictures of Luke Cage in a dark alleyway at night, later that night with them filming a completely different scene. Anytime I think of Luke Cage in a dark alleyway, notice he's got the tie off. He looks more like he did during Heroes for Hire without the tie, with the collar popped. It always reminds me of the first time that he met Danny Rand, and they just had that funny moment where it was Luke Cage's powers versus the Iron Fist, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. They sort of used it like a Thor's hammer and Hulk kind of situation. Like, what would happen if you tried to hit the Hulk with Thor's hammer? Like, would it hurt him at all? The answer to that question is just a tiny bit. It would mostly annoy him. And that is also kind of what happened when Danny Rand hit Luke Cage with the Iron Fist in the face. A couple years ago, when they brought Daredevil back during Spider-Man No Way Home, people expected them to eventually bring the Defenders back at some point, the other Netflix characters. It was just a question of who would come back next and when would they be coming back. Kevin Foggy was also pretty open about this too, like, we're looking for ways to do things with them in the future. But a lot of the future of Marvel TV was pinned on a lot of the classic Marvel TV, like Daredevil basically used as this foundation to reintroduce all these TV characters and do more in the TV universe that's like its own separate thing away from the movies, with some of the characters, like Daredevil, for instance, Punisher, showing up in the movies, like we're seeing Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Maybe we'll see a Daredevil crossover, but he said that he's not supposed to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now with the talk of them doing a live-action Daredevil movie with Charlie Cox, there's a much more opportunity to do some of those TV characters in the movies and bigger crossovers with bigger movie characters like Spider-Man that you normally wouldn't see show up on the TV shows. One of the funnier things is that recently Charlie Cox was also making fun of the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. We literally just saw Jennifer Garner's version of Elektra from that Daredevil movie universe, from Ben Affleck's universe technically, show up in Deadpool and Wolverine, so that is now canon to the MCU through the multiverse as well. We have multiple versions of Daredevil. I know the next question, if all the Defenders are coming back for Daredevil Born Again Season 3, is that the launching platform for other TV shows? Like, are they working on a Heroes for Hire TV show? Are they working on a Jessica Jones Born Again type of TV show? Maybe they can work an alias to the title of this new show if she does a new show. But there are a couple other Netflix characters that they're talking about bringing back in Season 3 that might help explain what they're doing in Daredevil Born Again Season 3. First and foremost is Elektra. Supposedly they're bringing Elektra back because the head of Marvel TV said a couple years ago that he wanted to bring her back and was looking for the right place, and it just was not working in Season 1 or Season 2, so it sounds like they were waiting for Season 3. Also with all the other Defenders coming back together too. And supposedly they're talking about bringing Night Nurse back, Rosario Dawson's character too, because she's doing so much with the Disney Corporation, like she's in the middle of Ahsoka Season 2 right now, doing all the Mandalorian timeline related stuff. We do not know if Kingpin is going to be back during Season 3. I expect that they're wrapping up the Mayor Kingpin story arc in Season 2, and they said already, like they've confirmed, that the Season 3 storyline is a completely different threat, which is why the Defenders are back, to help deal with this completely different threat. I know people are asking if they're going to do Shadowland or something crazy like that. Are the Hand involved? Because the MCU version of the Hand originated inside Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and then the Defender series, and now they're showing up again during Spider-Man Brand New Day. Based on what we've seen of the trailer so far, I believe somebody else, one of the other villains in the movie, just hires the Hand, so the Hand themselves aren't like the main villains of Spider-Man Brand New Day. It also seems like they're using movie money, like big money, to give them a big glow up, the way they did with Daredevil. So one of my real hopes, if Disney is going to back up the dump truck of money to do this right, they use that money to make a much better version, much better iteration of Danny Rand Iron Fist. Finn Jones himself was actually doing a rant at a recent Comic-Con about how he wanted a chance to redeem himself. Well, now it looks like he's going to get that chance.
There's a lot of willingness for the fans to see that not happen as well. Like, I'm very aware of the critiques of the character and my role in it. But my response to that is, like, give me a fucking chance, man. Like, I'm here and I'm ready, and I want to prove people wrong.
Speaking of some of the better stuff during that Iron Fist series, they better bring Colleen Wing back as soon as possible. Recently, Jessica Henwick also said that she visited the set of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, but she wasn't in Season 2. Like, she was just visiting the set to visit the actors because she's friends with everybody, obviously. So my hope is if they're doing a lot of Defender stuff during Season 3, then there is some sort of reference or cameo from her in the background, even if she's not like a real big character. But they are kind of making it sound like Daredevil Born Again Season 3 is the final season of Born Again, and that will launch other TV shows, and they'll just continue the story on those other TV shows, like a Heroes for Hire TV show with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and another Jessica Jones series that sort of carries her story forward, and then the other characters also come back on that, and then whatever this live-action Daredevil movie would turn into if they do wind up doing it. When you also talk about these Defenders characters showing up in the movies, I've also been talking about how they really need to have a Shang-Chi versus Iron Fist fight at some point. Even if you don't make Iron Fist a really big character in Shang-Chi too, just have them fight it out a little bit. Maybe it's in Secret Wars, maybe it's in some other movie, maybe it's in the live-action Daredevil movie. Whatever they want to do, wherever they want to do it, I am sure Simu Liu would be down for that fight. I know there's going to be a ton of questions about Misty Knight and other Netflix characters coming back. Absolutely cannot wait to see them all come back. Everybody post all your theories in the comments below and let me know how you want them to handle the characters going forward after this, which other movies you want to see them cross over into. We are in the middle of Daredevil Born Again episodes right now. My episode 4 video will post next week after they release it. The other big reminder is that The Boys Season 5 episodes are starting next week, and we have Invincible Season 4 episodes at the same time. So I will be doing videos for everything as fast as possible. I'll try to get this stuff done as fast as possible. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Everybody click here for all my Daredevil Born Again episodes, and click here for that new Black Panther 3 report. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.